It is perhaps the best home field advantage in all of football and certainly the loudest as we welcome you inside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Today we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Kansas City Chiefs. On to get us started now, the kicker Chris Boswell. And into a sea of red, we're underway in Kansas City. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Mahomes to throw. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Alex Highsmith in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. We were wondering what they would do defensively to disrupt Patrick Mahomes. Sacking him on the first drive, that's a really good way to set a tone.
The last thing you want to do is let him get established in the pocket where he can set his feet and throw wherever he wants to. Even though he does it well on the run and on the move, you definitely want to get him off the spot in the pocket.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
On 4th down, Tommy Townsend to punt for Kansas City. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Take it at the 37. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. And not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. Throwing to start the drive. Porter. That's complete to his tight end Freiermuth. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. This defense for the Chiefs, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Porter. Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. They'll give him 4 yards there. 3rd and 7 there. And defensively, you're okay with that. In the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they ground on 2 and 4.
And that's what you count on. I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I'm going to say this offense try and spread the field a little bit and utilize the outside 3rd of the field, especially against man coverage. But that time, the defense was up to the task, forcing the incompletion.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. 13 yards, the tally on the return there. Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. To throw, it's Mahomes. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. That one a first down pickup of 8. And the Chiefs have 14-1 now on the year. And they have certainly got it rolling as of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And I think this is where, as a head coach, you show your team some trust. Instead of just talking about winning, the very next game, you point out to them, we're on a nice run here. And if we keep doing this, we'll be playing at home in the postseason. And we know that could ride us all the way to the Super Bowl if we get that done.
Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. And worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes 2 to tango. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 31-yard line. Give them 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. Mahomes gets it out quickly, and it's complete out wide. So he stopped for no gain. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
And it bangs off the right upright, no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. So first and goal quickly turns into fourth and goal, and then fourth and goal turns into no points whatsoever.
That's a very disappointing sequence of events right there. And I, for one, would not want to be the kicker who has to run over to his head coach and explain that one.
Throwing to start the drive. Porter. That's down the field and caught by Freiermuth. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
But give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
A first carry for Najee Harris. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for. One of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A short one there to Freiermuth. And he will have a Steelers first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. We're scoreless after 1. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Josh Allen in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well. And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, and now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one where they have a much better chance of picking up.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. On the give, this is Harris. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
A great job there by this defense. They give up the long drive, but in the end, it looks like they'll force a field goal attempt.
Boswell's kick is good, and the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
On 2nd and 10, Mahomes got a man. It's London. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield and giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Back to throw. Porter setting up the screen. Harris. And they'll get him down right around the 11-yard line. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19. Operating from the gun, Porter. It's Najee Harris now on back-to-back plays with a catch. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Room here to run. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. Perfect execution on that inside handoff, and then a little will, a little brute strength to move forward after the contact.
What do we call that now in today's NFL? Heck, in today's football? contact balance, right? That's the buzzword, the phrase you hear. A back who can absorb contact, bounce off of it, and keep moving. Just what you said, brute strength, force of will.
So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be second down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
To throw on second down. Porter finding Harris on back-to-back plays. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
And the Steelers on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
On 3rd and 2, Porter completes it to Watt. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be 4th down. Back to throw again. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Chiefs are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
Now a throw here to his running back. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that's going to bring up second down. Mahomes going to throw. It's Kelsey on the ground. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Mahomes on the bootleg. They'll roll him out right. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Mahomes. Catch is made by Hardman. And he's brought down in the red zone at the 18 after a gain of 18. 1st and 10. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense, because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Formation, Hardman gets a completion. And the Chiefs are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll try to run this one in. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Now here's Mahomes. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco. He has career touchdown number 78, tying in with both Eddie George and Frank Gifford on the all-time list. And the Chiefs have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
A give to Harris. And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
But that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Looking to throw on second down. Porter. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. Open man is the tight end, Noah Gray. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain of 32 that time. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco with his 17th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. Harris. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
57 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
They went counter there offensively, and a couple of defenders were on skates for a second.
They certainly were, and you know what offensive linemen love about the counters and the misdirections? Sometimes you don't even have to block the defender. He can run himself out of the play if he doesn't read his keys properly.
First down, and they go back to Harris. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, second down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
The last run got a couple. Here's second and 8. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Justin Simmons. He's at the 40, 20, 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
And, Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line. For a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down.
A big completion there against double coverage. And Charles, one of those guys had a pick on him earlier.
Yeah, so he didn't allow that to deter him at all, did he? In fact, it probably was a challenge. Okay, you got a pick before. It's my turn now to make the big play, and that's exactly what he did.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break, contain, and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Pickett. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Back to throw, Pickett.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
Well, they got to be thrilled with how they've operated so far in this one. They've got the nice lead, and now a chance to score here on 3 straight possessions.
Yeah, and the way that they are rolling, I just don't know how they get slowed down.
Trying to find his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted.
And the Steelers are going to take over at their own 41. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that...
Pickett in trouble, and down he goes. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
How about how they spread the field in their formation? All those receivers running around, and not a single one of them finds a window in that zone. Great communication on the back end. Everyone pointing out different guys in their assignments. And guess who pays the price? The quarterback, as he gets dumped.
This is Harris. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. This is fielded at the 27. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive.
The last drive for this offense, Charles, you remember it ended in one play, that quick interception, but they do still have the lead as they start this drive here.
And that's something to focus on for them as well, because it's not quite no harm, no foul. But the interception, hey, shake it off, move on. Hasn't cost your team the lead, and now it's time to rebound. And the quarterback and his teammates, they can add to the lead with a good drive here.
And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's 3rd down and inches.
That now brings up a very interesting identical situation on 3rd down.
Yeah, people couldn't see us on camera, but I love how you motioned to me like, throw the ball. This is a great shot to take it. 2nd and short. Maybe take a big shot downfield. Instead, they ran it. Didn't work out for them very well. They should have listened to you, partner.
Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Third quarter action here in this regular season finale. This will be 2nd and 10. They go play fake. Mahomes. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Myles Jack with a sack. Well, he shot in, CD, like he was out of a cannon from that linebacker position. And even though they had a running back in the backfield, no one could stop him.
Well, you certainly diagnosed that play perfectly, because as fast as he got into the backfield, you're exactly right. The running back had no shot to get over and try and protect his quarterback.
We're back now in KC. It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4. The Chiefs on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. Harris going to get it again on 2nd down. And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Looking to throw. Pickett. It's brought in by Harris. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. A penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward. On 1st and 10, it's Pickett. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Pickett now on 1st down. And this one too low.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side, and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, it's Pickett. Going across the formation, he finds Freiermuth. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 42. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Going up top. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's Pickett. Setting up the screen, Harris. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Well, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Pickett right back to the air again. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. As this one moves towards its conclusion, another incomplete pass there. Thoughts on the secondary? I mean, they seem to be pretty effective in this one.
Yeah, I thought that they've been absolutely outstanding. I mean, their job is to prevent touchdowns, and not a single touchdown's going on the board against them. Of course, they want to make it a total shutout, but hey, if you don't give up touchdowns, you got a heck of a chance to win.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging them, give them a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 2nd and 9, Mahomes got London on a slant. And he's going to get this down near the 25. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. 64 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle 1/3 of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line. He provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. From the right hash, this a 31-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
95 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
On 3rd down, here's Harris. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
I think this is what this game's become now. Just go deep, see if we can get something to go our way.
Yeah, not the most creative or most inventive play call there, but not much has worked for them throughout this game. They're almost at a loss about what to dial up.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on third.
Pickett, he's going to throw it again.
And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Pickett, 4th down, desperation time. Able to find his man, it's Pickens. And he is going to have the Steelers' first down as this defense cannot come up with a play that they need. In fact, they surrender a big chunk, 17 yards there on 4th down. One final shot for Pickett.
And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So this one in the win column for Kansas City. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half, the adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Kansas City,
they continue their winning ways as they run their mark to 15-1 on the year.